The greatest achievement of the Momin Movement or All India Momin Conference was that it changed the psyche of this weaver caste. Now, instead of being ashamed of their caste identity, they proudly announce it. These words were written by Professor Hafiz Shamsuddin Ahmad Shams, one of the founders of All India Momin Conference and the president of its first session, while reflecting upon the contribution of this organization in the lives of weaver, Ansari, Momin or Jolaha caste of Indian Muslims. All India Momin Conference is commonly credited as one of the first large-scale attempts in modern India to challenge the caste-based inequalities in Muslim society. This organization of weavers, or Jolaha as commonly known as, led a movement to challenge the upper caste hegemony among Muslims, which was later joined by other castes also. The first attempt to organize Pasmanda or lower caste Muslims was started by eminent members of the weaver community in Kolkata in 1912. Maulana Hafiz Abdullah Ghazipuri, Shamsul Ulama Maulana Muhammad Yahya, engineer Shamsuddin Ahmad and editor of Al Momin, Muhammad Yahya started Jamiyat Al Mominin for the welfare work among Pasmanda. According to Maulana Muhammad Inamuddin Ramnagari, exact beginning of the movement could not be traced, but there was no doubt that it was a book by Ahle Hadith scholar Maulana Abdus Salam Mubarakpuri of Khudabakhsh Library, which stirred the conscience of the community. It was only after this book's publication that people started feeling the need for an organization for Pasmanda. From 1912 to 1915, Momin movement spread from Kolkata to Bihar, Awadh, Punjab, Bombay and other parts of India. Qazi Sheikh Abdul Jabbar played the most important role in the spread of this movement till his death in 1915. Hakim Abdul Ghani Ghazipuri, Maulana Abu Shoaib Saif Banarsi, Maulana Abu Shoaib Khurjavi, Shamsul Ulama Maulana Muhammad Yahya and Muhammad Yahya, who was editor of Al Momin, Maulana Abdullah Ghazipuri and others were pivotal to the movement till 1915. But the death of Jabbar and the World War brought a halt to the movement. After the war was over, an Urdu newspaper dedicated to the issues of Pasmanda was started by Muhammad Yahya. This newspaper, Al Momin, printed from Kolkata, helped in creating more awareness. In 1923, in the second week of December, delegates from all over the country met in Kolkata to revive Jamiyat Al Mominin. On 20 and 23 March 1925, the first session of All India Momin Conference was held at Town Hall in Kolkata. The historic session was presided over by Professor Hafiz Shamsuddin Ahmad Shams of Maner in Bihar. His father, engineer Maulvi Zamiruddin, was one of the pioneers of Momin movement in Bihar, along with Hakim Maula Bakhsh of Nurani Dawakhana and Master Muhammad Jan. Shamsuddin, in his address, asked, "My brothers, first of all, we have to identify who we are." Answering the question, he spoke, and I quote him, "A few people argue that our community is the original inhabitant of India. In Hindu period, we were called Tanti, and after converting to Islam under Muslim rule, we got these names of Momin, etc." People who have researched this topic know that this understanding is wrong. It is possible that a few of our community members were actually ancient inhabitants of India, but there is plenty of undeniable evidence which proves that most of us can trace our lineage to non-Indian races. Our ancestors were invited from countries like Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Arab, Yemen, etc. by Muslim rulers so that they could produce fine cloth in India." Unquote. Shamsuddin claimed that during the time of earlier Muslim rulers of India, the weaver community was prosperous and produced Islamic scholars. With time, since Akbar's reign, Hindu Brahmanical customs started penetrating the state policy, and gates of educational institutions were shut down for the weavers and other such communities. Later, British rule ruined the business of weavers also. Shamsuddin, in one of his writings, also gives the origin of the term Momin. He wrote that a Sufi, Hazrat Momin Arif Rahmatullah Alayh, came from Yemen and stayed at Maner in Bihar in the 12th century. He was expert at weaving clothes. The people who accepted Islam under his influence, people who came with him and his own progeny, kept the art of weaving clothes alive across India and came to be known as Momin. Ashfaq Hussain Ansari, a former member of parliament, believed that instead of the 1925 session, the session which was held in Kolkata on 7 and 8 April 1928 under the presidentship of Maulana Abdul Majid Al-Hariri of Banaras should be considered as the first All India Momin Conference session. In his view, the previous sessions didn't have national character like this one. In his presidential address, Al-Hariri said that Muslims should go back to the egalitarian teachings of Islam. Islam came to demolish the distinctions of race, caste, etc., but Indian Muslims had adopted the Brahmanical caste system. He blamed the so-called ulama who had rejected Quranic teachings and adopted a system based on lineages. Maulvi Sheikh Zahiruddin of Ambala presided over the session at Allahabad on 30 and 31 March 1929. He added a new dimension to the caste problem. He told people about the government policies against Pasmanda. In his view, Pasmanda should side themselves with the global socialist movements of the time. People were asked to take part in national politics. While several activists were against the suggestion, it was the beginning of political awakening among the weaver community. It was no coincidence that Zahiruddin was the president of Momin Conference during the 1940s when the organization took a principled political stand against Muslim League and entered a coalition of Muslim organizations against the Pakistan demand. The session held in 1933 at Lahore was presided over by Sheikh Murtaza Hussain, Municipal Commissioner of Gorakhpur. Murtaza added another dimension to the movement. He asked people to protect their art of weaving. In his view, adapting with the time was necessary. The most important point he raised was the need for a cooperative fund so that weavers should not depend on money lenders for loans and trade activities. From 1939, when the session held at Gorakhpur was chaired by Zahiruddin, the World War allowed only one session in 1943 at Delhi. During this time, Momin Conference joined hands with Jamiyat Ulama, Ehrar, Prajakrashak, Shia Majlis and other Muslim organizations to fight against Jinnah's two-nation theory. Thank you.